Hi, I'm Janine, and if you haven't been here before, I am a 500 hours trained registered yoga teacher, and so I thought that during this time I would take the opportunity to give some tips on how to deepen your yoga practice at home. So for a lot of people, they go to a studio or they follow a specific teacher, and their understanding of yoga kind of grows from there. Everybody has it at their own pace, but overall, there comes a time for many people who come to yoga where they want to sort of deepen their practice, deepen their understanding, and so some people even get a yoga training just for that. For most people, people get their experience from having that teacher that they love, that studio, that place that they go to, you know what I mean? But during this time when, we're more at home, I thought that this is a really important thing, and it's even just important to know these things, even if you are the type of person who does not like to go to yoga studios, who has a personal and private practice. These are things that I would have wanted to know in my private practice, but I was able to go off of the resources that I had at that time. Without further ado, I'm just going to get into it. So, the first 3 books that I would recommend for the overall understanding of what yoga is and how to do it, I would go for these 3 books. These are actually books that I was recommended to by my yoga teachers, by my teacher trainings. So these are pretty common and well-known books and essential books that are pretty well-known. So I'm going to go through them. We have The Deeper Dimension of Yoga. For me, this book is so important for a person who wants to understand what yoga is. And that's why I'm starting with it, because a lot of people, especially in more religious circles or people who are skeptical of what it is, this book will answer all of your questions. This is The Deeper Dimension of Yoga, Theory and Practice by George Feugerstein. I haven't even read everything in here yet. I use it kind of topically. It goes through a wide range of topics, but this is like one of the first books that I would pick up and always have it at hand if you really want to understand all the different aspects, all the different things that are discussed in the yoga community. So, for example, we have what is yoga, what is it for, who is it for, selecting a yoga teacher or therapist or class, fundamental principles, is yoga a religion? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. But that is a big question for a lot of people. Like Hinduism, Buddhism, Tantra yoga, yoga and symbolism, approaching spiritual practice. And like I said, I have things highlighted. I use it more topically. When I have a question, I go to this. So that is The Deeper Dimension of Yoga. The next one that I would do is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Our yoga practice is not only physical, it is mental and spiritual, and it's union. It's the union of all things. So these are the processes that sort of go on in the mind during meditation, having those thoughts pass through. And so we have a very detailed explanation, I'll show you, of the sutras. So we have the first one here, the second one, we have Hatha Yoga Anushasanam in the Sanskrit, and it tells you what they each mean. Now the exposition of yoga is being made, every single step. The second one, the restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. And then we have the notes below giving an in-depth description. The third one, the seer abides in his own nature. So we go through and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And really all of the other sutras in the book are explanations of those first 3 things. Stilling of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. I really hope that I'm describing these things in an eloquent way. Then we've got Light on Yoga by B.K.S. Iyengar, and this is actually the book that I used the most getting into my yoga practice. I love it. I love this guy, and I don't even know how to explain it. I just love that they have that he's got his pictures of him doing his thing, telling you how to do yoga. But if you want to understand the exact postures, all of the in-depth descriptions, I don't know if it'll focus, it goes through all the 8 limbs of yoga. So the 8 limbs of yoga are very fundamental. All of those things are in here, and this one I would buy right now also. This one I love. All 3 of these, buy right now if you want to deepen your yoga practice. And I also love the feel of this book. Okay, for the meditation aspect, I was also referred to the wherever you go, there you are. It's very small, beginner-friendly bits of wisdom about how to meditate like every single day. It's got really short chapters, things to digest every single day about deepening your meditation practice and bringing that mindfulness into your actual life. I really like this book. It's really beat up. I've used it a lot. But right now, a current favorite of mine and my husband's is Passage Meditation by Eknoth Eschwarren. Train your mind, find a life that fulfills. So if you are more looking for a more disciplined and scheduled, more hardcore meditation practice, I would go with this. It's also beneficial if you are a person of faith. You do meditate on passages, so you could, it explains how to do it, but with any religion that you have, you could use a passage from your religion. Again, yoga is not a religion. It is a practice that can benefit your spirituality no matter what religion that you have. So this is a really great book if you want to really integrate your spiritual beliefs as well, if you want to meditate on your on passages from your faith. Then we've got the spiritual side of yoga, which I think that this, again, buy this one right now if you really want to deepen your practice and understanding, the Bhagavad-Gita, the sacred song of India. Often thought of as the Bible of India, the Bhagavad-Gita is one of the most important sacred texts in the world. I don't really know how to properly explain it to you, but it's the most powerful. It's a conversation that that someone is having with God, set with the Indian deities, and it is a way to understand if you want to know more about the spiritual aspect of yoga, get this. Either way, I think it's important for everyone to read this and understand. So moving on to the next, I would pick up a good old-fashioned anatomy book of some kind, okay? I just have right here with me, I'm not saying that these are the best ones, these are the ones that I have. I think it's important to get a feel of some anatomy and an understanding from that perspective as well. I thought it was really cool. Once for my birthday, a friend of mine gave me this book of great yoga retreats, and I like to go through and just kind of look at the beautiful yoga retreats people can go on and look at that. But what I like about this coffee table book is that each place says books that they recommend, that they showcase. So in the future, I want to go through and see if there's any that I don't know about that I can use to strengthen my own personal practice. And that's something that you could do when just following your own studio that's nearby, just being open and asking. And the last bit of advice that I would like to give about how to deepen your practice at home is to find people who inspire you, find teachers that resonate with you. Sometimes we don't find those teachers right away. I didn't find a teacher that really, really resonated with me until I saw the person that became my 300-hour teacher. As soon as I saw her, I knew that I wanted her to be my teacher. Sometimes that doesn't happen, though, and you have to do some searching. If you're looking online, it's okay to kind of go through and see if you relate to the sort of sequences and philosophies that those teachers are talking about. Oftentimes teachers teach on what they have experienced in their lives, so it can be beneficial to find somebody that you have in common with, the same philosophies or you've had the same type of injuries, etc. For me, I really, for a while, gravitated toward, a long time ago, Tara Stiles, because I sort of related to the way that she thinks and the way that she stretches, and whereas a different teacher, I would not recommend her to my husband. Someone my husband likes is Travis Elliott with his yin yoga, and his teacher, Brian Kest, is somebody how I found yoga, and that is deeply close to my heart. And this is Travis Elliott's Yin Yoga book. You know, find these people that do the specific types of yoga that are good for you. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention onto the spiritual aspect of yoga earlier on. Maybe also do some research on the Tao, on Taoist philosophy, because there are a lot of aspects of yoga that have to do with Taoist philosophy. But anyway, in this Yin Yoga book, a good example is if you're into Ashtanga or Power Yoga, do some research on those specific types of yoga and the teachers in those fields. And then we've got books like this, the Women's Health Big Book of Yoga. They also have one for men. They also have one for other types of sports. But these ones have, books like this have plenty of different types of sequences, a variety of teachers and perspectives, kind of wrapped up into one, giving you a taste of people's individual practice. We have the more ancient books, the older ones that are the foundations. We have the meditation books. We have the anatomy books. And then we have us keeping up with what's going on today and with what teachers are doing now. I think that's a really holistic way to approach it. So anyway, I really hope this video has been helpful to you. Please let me know if it is helpful and if there's anything else that you'd like to know or see, or if even you have good recommendations down in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this video. So yeah, I'm excited to see you guys next time. Okay, bye.